it's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. It's balance day, baby. What do you guys think of the changes? Here are my first impressions on the screen right now. Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below. There's one thing that I feel very confident about, and that is the Valkyrie. I think she is super smart, and I'm gonna hop right into a match right now, live with you guys. Good luck. And this is something that I've been doing in the last few videos, just doing a match. I'm gonna start with a princess in the back here. Just doing a match live, and if you guys want me to continue it, please let me know in the comments below. If you don't, please let me know in the comments below. I want to kind of drive this channel in a direction that you guys enjoy, that you guys are happy with. I'll send in a goblin barrel here on the right side just to see what my opponent does here. Notably, we are going against level 12, excuse me. This is the first day. Oh, I'm just gonna play some defense here. I'm gonna place my Valkyrie over here and then the goblin gang right on top of it. This should defend really well. Look at this Valkyrie. She is doing work. I don't even think she needed a buff. And now look at how strong she is, guys. By the way, we are going to be featuring one of my favorite pros in the game. He's such a nice guy, Lebanese pro. His name is Jigsawqt. He's been on the channel before. I just can't say enough good things about this guy, though. From my time in Nova when he was a player coach, he's a pro and a coach, he just was absolutely amazing. I'm going to figure, by the way, I'm going against a golem beatdown deck here because he did have pump, and I did see his princes. I'm going to take this damage, and I guess I'm going to go ahead and go in with a goblin barrel here once I get to closer to full elixir. Again, guys, you know, just trying out new formats. I know a lot of you guys like me playing live, and I know at the same time, so he zaps that, so I guess he's running zap and I don't know, zap, that might be his only spell, I think. Anyway, we'll drop a Valkyrie in the back here and see what he does. I'm kind of confused at this guy's deck, to be totally honest with you guys, but we'll see, because he's had opportunities to play the golem if he has one. But either way, oh, P.E.K.K.A. I think this guy's playing PPP. The P.E.K.K.A. Prince, P.E.K.K.A. Prince deck. So we're just going to play a Goblin Gang on the right here, and Princess is going to take care and support that Tesla. He has arrows as well, so he has arrows and zap. So this should be interesting. He doesn't have arrows in cycle, so we're just going to hit him hard with a Goblin Barrel here and see what he does. And he just defends with a prince. I'm going to get tons of damage here, guys, on this right tower. You can see that one goblin kind of go into town there. Valkyrie, again, just proving her worth there. And now we'll just log this back. And if he uses arrows again, like on this princess here, we can just go ahead and goblin barrel for the win on the right tower. We're able to defend this really easily just with the Tesla in the Valkyrie here. Tesla OP, Valkyrie OP, just newsflash. He did use the arrows, so let's send in the goblin barrel and see what he does here. Well, he's not going to be able to do anything. He has Fireball, too. Oh, man, what a wacky... It's like the classic PPP deck that this guy is playing, like the absolute 2016 circa PPP deck. So anyway, guys, good game, and, you know, obviously, take it for what it's worth. It's the first day of ladder, but I know that you guys enjoy at least seeing me play here and there. I'm not going to overdo it, so would you like to see me continue to do one replay? Let's go over to the pro here, and it is Jigsawqt, as promised. Look at this guy, man. 20 game winner, obviously, almost 600,000 cards won. We're going to hop into him playing this in a grand challenge here. He's rattled off 2 grand challenge wins in a row now this morning using this deck. So we're just going to cover the last few replays against really problematic decks in the meta right now, including the Mortar Rascals deck and the Graveyard Rascals deck. Now, I should mention here that Jigsaw, as he always does when he comes on the channel, he provided a bunch of text tips to help supplement this this deck as a kind of a guide. So I'll include those on the overlay and in the description right now for you guys. I'll cover my ugly grill for a second, and you guys can kind of read that if you want to copy and maybe screenshot this. Feel free to do so. He gives a lot of great advice, and he kind of even gets into the different matchups as well. So I know these text tips, excuse me, will help a lot of you guys out. So let's go back to this matchup here, and he's going against a pretty difficult matchup, right? The opponent has poison. They also have, it's kind of a bridge spam deck. They also have log, of course. So going against log, how are we going to handle it? Well, one thing that Jigsawqt does, a couple things that Jigsawqt does is if they have a log and a quick cycle deck, kind of like the one we're going against, it's not super fast, but it's not slow either. Not like we're going against a golem deck or a PPP deck that we saw earlier in this video. What he likes to do is kind of chip away and get into a situation situation where he can go into a rocket cycle towards the end of the match. This deck is so dirty. I've shared a deck very similar to this before, but not the same exact one, and it is so good. Let's check this out. Valkyrie, oh, going to work over here in the right lane. Are you kidding me? Oh man, Supercell, are you crazy with a Valkyrie buff? Are you crazy? No, I'm just joking. You know, it's easy for people to complain about the balance changes. Everybody has complaints. But for me, it's just, I did not see the Valkyrie buff coming. I think that they kept buffing her and buffing her and buffing her throughout, you know, balance update after balance update. She's never gotten a nerf to my knowledge. And now with that faster first swing, and now she has more HP than both of the princes, I think that she's going to be lethal, especially in this spam-happy meta. She does work against Rascals, which did not surprisingly get a nerf. And a good job protecting the princess here. Now, one thing that you guys might have noticed on those text tips is that Jigsawqt, it's very important to always protect your princess. It's true. But he sees some players almost going too far protecting her. In other words, like, you don't want to protect her if she's not savable. So if she's at the bridge and your opponent drops like a mega minion on top of her, like, just take the hit, right? Don't necessarily always start spamming your Valkyrie or whatever to protect her in every circumstance. Really important note is, you know, obviously you do want to protect her in every situation where you can, like you saw there with that Valkyrie for Jigsawqt, but, you know, just don't go overboard. Don't lose the match on that protection. So here comes a minor poison, and, you know, Valkyrie's just going to be so strong right now. I almost feel like Graveyard was in the best spot it's been in a long time in the meta, guys, and all of a sudden with the buff to Spear Goblins, or I should say the nerf to Spear Goblins, but the buff first Graveyard and Spear Goblins, and the buff to Valkyrie, it's going to be very difficult. And look at the Tesla. Tesla's just so strong. I mean, I keep saying it, but man, Tesla is the strongest defense, at least in my opinion, in the game right now, guys. Maybe it's time for another ranking video, but here you go. You can see the rocket cycle, and again, going back to those text tips that I provided towards the beginning of this replay, is that Jigsawqt does not rocket cycle every matchup. Only matchups where they have a fast cycle to his log, and what he'll do is he'll use the princess at the bridge, and then he'll use the rocket as well as kind of a chip rocket cycle if he has to just concentrate on defending. So here we go. We get that log in. Now the tower's down to 524. Here comes the rocket, and that's going to take it all the way down to only 92 damage. So all he needs is one log or a golem barrel on that tower if the opponent uses his log, gets desperate here. And he does, Trainer AJ. So he uses the log there, princess, and now the log or the princess hit will finish off the match for Jigsawqt. Jigsawqt, again, just a really good player. And one thing about Jigsawqt is he's really solid when it comes to the fundamentals of the game, you know? I love having this guy on. His gameplay is just great. It rarely makes mistakes, you know? I like players like that because they give you guys a good kind of, I don't know, something that you guys can emulate and bring this into your own matches. He doesn't take a lot of risks, which is really good when you're learning a new deck for the first time. Not that this is brand new, obviously, again, but with the buff to Valkyrie, it's certainly viable. So here we go. Going against Graveyard, Rascal Graveyard. I'm going to show Rascal Mortar being the last matchup of the video. Also, a quick programming note. Look at that rocket value. Boom! Hits all those Rascals. Thick Boy just hanging on to life there, but everybody else is pretty much down. The girls are down, that's for sure, and a lot of damage off that left tower. Now, what do I want to tell you guys? Oh, this might be the first Graveyard push. Here it comes. Check it out. I mean, it's almost too easy at this point. He has Graveyard, he has Poison there. Now, it's super important to remember this, guys. If you're going against Graveyard using this deck, if they have Poison in hand or enough Elixir to play Poison, you're always going to be using your Gang against the tanks, against the troops at the bridge, and you're always going to be using your Valkyrie on the Graveyard. Valkyrie against Graveyard is just like too easy of a counter because no matter what spell they throw at you, as long as it's not a rocket, and you don't see Graveyard rocket decks too often, you're going to be A-okay. Especially with the HP buff, like, she's totally cool countering Graveyard, no big deal, right? Probably not the best time for it, but a quick programming note, since nothing crazy is going on in the match, is I had like 6 videos ready to share with you guys. I'm going to scrap 4 of those videos because of the balance changes. I don't feel like the decks are quite as good, and I don't want to share sub-quality content with you guys. With that said, I do have 1 or 2 videos that I will still be sharing, so expect double uploads tomorrow and maybe the day after, while I try to get some of this content before the balance changes out to you guys. I have the Golem God Sauna Dude coming on the channel tomorrow morning, probably. And that deck is just as solid as it was in the previous meta. And I will have a CRL Finals recap highlighting the best decks of Nova, mainly talking about Rascals and are they OP? Did Supercell make a mistake not nerfing them? We'll get into that in that video. Okay, back to the regularly scheduled program here, guys. Sorry about that, but I meant to mention that at the beginning of the video. I didn't, and whatever. All right, so here we go. It's going to be Valkyrie in the left lane. Obviously, nothing. When you don't have anything obvious to play, you can play a defensive Tesla. Tesla in the same lane as Graveyard is incredible. Now, there's poison in hand here, but we can cycle pretty quickly, and we get some defense with that Goblin Gang, and we kill the tank really fast. And that's something that, you know, you guys know from previous Graveyard episodes or any video that I've ever done on how to counter Graveyard, but people spend way too much energy and elixir and time countering the Graveyard and not whatever's tanking for it. The Ice Golem, the thick boy, the boy Rascal, you know? You gotta deal with a tank and then worry about the Graveyard. Because your tower, once it's freed up to target the skeletons, actually does a really good job against Graveyard. So getting that tank out of the way is going to help you out dramatically against Graveyard players. So there goes the rocket. That's going to end things there for Jigsawqt. Let's go ahead and cover this Mortar Rascal deck because, again, this deck is definitely poised to continue to dominate the meta, but not against this deck, guys, because Valkyrie handles it very, very well. And Tesla handles Mortar really well. You can play a Tesla, boom, right at the bridge, counter that Mortar, hard counter, and the Tesla lives to see another day. So here we go again. It's going to be a Princess. Obviously, beautiful starting plays with this deck, as with any bait deck. Starting the Princess behind your King Tower and sending in that Goblin Barrel, either one or the other, not both of them. You don't do both at the same time. Look at this Valkyrie with the extra HP. That's going to allow her to get 2 hits on that right tower. I'll take a free 450 or so damage off that tower. No big deal. I'll take it. That's the new Valkyrie at work there, because previously she would have gotten 0 or 1 swings because of the HP increase. So here we go again. It's a Mortar there. We're just going to cycle a gang in back of the King Tower and see what the opponent does here. It looks like he has the Rascals ready, HMW, and he splits Rascals in front of his King Tower. Again, just trying to get back to another Mortar on his side. So what are we doing? We're just playing smart defense here. We're not going overboard. He sends in that Miner. Again, we're able to protect that Princess very, very nicely here. And then we send in that Goblin Barrel, keeping up the pressure even though he has Login Cycle. So right now, good protection on that Princess. And look at the Princess. She stays alive. It's not like she's providing a ton of value, but that Mortar does lock on to the Valkyrie instead of the Princess. We caused our opponent there to play a defensive Mortar, and then we send in the gang here, hopefully getting a little bit of chip damage onto the tower, and we do. One Goblin gets to that tower, gets a couple stabs in, and we cause the opponent to use 3 elixir to defend with a Goblin gang of his own. We play an Ice Spirit taking out those Spirit Goblins. Now we have a Princess reloaded in back of our King Tower. So again, we're going to go ahead and play a Valkyrie, protect our Princess again. Very well played there by Jigsawqt, anticipating that Miner coming in. And now let's see what the opponent does. Again, it's Rascal split in front of the tower, and we're going to go ahead and take that rocket again to the opponent. Now they're in some trouble here. They play their minion horde right on top of our Princess. We're going to go ahead and use our gang defensively, and that's going to distract all those minions. He'll get a little bit of chip damage on the right tower. Actually, I take that back. Beautiful kiting with the Ice Spirit, freezing, and we took no damage, guys, there at the end of the day there from that minion horde. And what did I say? What did I say about Tesla? Look at that Tesla bleed through that Mortar, and now, you know, there's a Tesla alive here to protect our Princess. The opponent really has to just use a log in this situation, and he uses it against the Goblin gang, but unfortunately he does clip our Princess at the end of the log there. But the cool thing about the hidden Tesla in that situation, guys, is look, it's providing so much value even after it killed that Mortar. It's still alive. It's still targeting the boy Rascal here and protecting that second Princess. So, you know, the Tesla in those situations can provide enormous value. I think the Tesla is, I've already said this several times, I'm not going to belabor the point, but Tesla is like such a solid card. This time, here comes the Miner trying to predict that Princess, so we switch it up there. We use a Tesla instead of the Princess, just one step ahead of the opponent there. We know the opponent doesn't have Login Cycle. Instead, they only have Spirit Goblins, so we send in the troops there. We send in the beautiful rocket, the log, and the Goblin Barrel in the previous sequence. We take it down to 6 HP. Look at, guys, he's barely touched our towers. This is a solid deck. This is a solid deck. You guys are really going to enjoy this one. I think, again, as I let off the video, I think it could be the best deck inside the new meta. Speaking of new meta, stay tuned, guys. I have all kinds of pros working right now to provide me replays. I don't know. I never really thank the pros enough for coming on my video. I don't know if any of you guys are watching or if you already know it all, because, you know, I mean, we've had like over 120 pro players on CWA Mobile Gaming in the last 2 years. 120 different players. It's incredible to me, and I really, again, I never thank them. So thank you so much to all of the pros who's ever appeared on the channel. I wouldn't have a YouTube channel without you guys. So thank you, and of course, thank you to all my subscribers continuing to watch and support the channel. We're growing faster than ever here on CWA Mobile Gaming. I don't say that to brag. I say that to say that things aren't as dire as they seem. If you really enjoy the game as we do here on CWA, it's good. Life can be good, right? So anyway, we're looking forward to the June update. We'll share any information that we have when we have it. I don't know when it's coming, but I'm looking forward to it. Guys, huge shout out again to Jigsawqt. Check out his Stats Royale player profile and his Twitter information in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Huge shout out to Bren Chong, my YouTube partner. Check out his information as well. Guys, thanks, and as always, take care, guys.